guys, welcome to Odds on Premier League and FA Cup, because it's going to be a special show. We have the FA Cup semi-finals, we have a new match day in the Premier League. It's going to be like 6 days with Premier League games, so we are going to analyze all games with you. Hi, Tom Rennie, how are you?
There are so many games, you've forgotten my name, and that's a great start, I think. Whoever you are. Hey, who are you? This is your first show here. I'm going to call you Billy from this point onwards. Is that all right?
Still Tom, of course. Again, so many games with you and with our audience. So leave a comment below. You have the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet, and also you have the chance to ask any question to Tom. He will answer you for sure.
Could be me, could be the other Tom, could be any Tom. We don't know. Any Tom will answer it. No guarantee it's me.
Any Tom about any game. And do not forget, click like button if you enjoy our video. Subscribe to our channel, of course, and click on the bell to get all the notifications when we do these nice videos with Tom Rennie. Let's start with the FA Cup semi-finals.
Yes.
What do you think? Okay.
Yeah. Which one? You want to start with Chelsea? Chelsea, Man City first?
Yeah, let's go in order. On Saturday, these two clubs qualify for the Champions League semi-finals, and they are going to meet each other also in Wembley in the FA Cup semi-finals. Oh, what a game. Tom, yeah. Man City were kicked out last year, remember, in this stage of the FA Cup against Arsenal. Chelsea made it to the final, but they didn't get the title. We see the odds, of course, like every single game in this season. Man City, huge favorites, 1.9. We saw them yesterday. It was a strange game because Man City, they are not used to comebacks. And finally, they made it in a very important game, of course, with Foden scoring the late winner. So, Tom, would you see a surprise here? Because Chelsea is getting way better. Maybe we see a surprise here.
I was commentating on the game Chelsea-Crystal Palace last weekend, and for half an hour, Chelsea were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. For me, it was the best 30 minutes from any team that I've seen this season. I know Crystal Palace have got their problems, blah, 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 loads of caveats to that, but Chelsea were fantastic. They were intense. They were ruthless. They could have been 7-0 up in 30 minutes. I thought Christian Pulisic really gave his first really impressive performance under Thomas Tuchel and is undroppable if not injured for the FA Cup this weekend. He's looked so good. They even made Kai Havertz look good. Maybe Palace are just too rubbish. I don't know. Anyway, Kai Havertz looked good as well. And so, look, I don't think it's going to be a City walkover, certainly. And last week, what did I say to you? I never bet against City. What happened? Leeds United won. It's not a good time right now for betting on Man City games because there are fish frying on many a pan. Look, I think Chelsea have got one of the best squads in Europe. One of the best squads in Europe. This is why I thought Frank Lampard should have been sacked earlier. I've said this to you before. That squad should be challenging for this title, for every title, for the FA Cup, for the Premier League, for the Champions League. I think they're going to win trophies this year. And I think the FA Cup could well be one of them. I, personally, am picking Chelsea to win the FA Cup semi-final over Manchester City. Quadruple over.
I remember you nailed actually the ACCA for the FA Cup quarterfinals. You knew all the 4 teams who were going to be in the semi-finals. The victory in the 90 minutes, we can see the odds for 8-5 right now on Oddspedia. If you fancy a double chance, for instance, so Chelsea or draw, and then we go to the extra time, 2.10, as you say. Man City, they played yesterday a very hard game in Germany. Next week, they have the Carabao Cup final. Now they have this FA Cup semi-final. So at one point, they have to lose as they lost against Leeds. So for you, winner Chelsea. Yep. On Saturday and on Sunday, we have Leicester City, Southampton. Both of them lost in their last game. In the Premier League, Leicester against West Ham, Southampton against West Brom, also predicted well by our Tom Rennie, I have to say. So here, where would you go? Leicester favorite, of course.
Yeah, I think that there was 2 stories from last weekend for these teams. Number one, Leicester just played poorly. I don't think they were thinking about the FA Cup. They're thinking about, we've got to finish in the Champions League places. And they were battered by West Ham, who took their chances. And then West Ham did their West Ham thing. We've scored now. Score against us if you can. and they concede 2, but you've got to get 3. Them's the rules. I think Leicester will be better. James Maddison will come back after his COVID-related enforced absence last week. That should make a big difference. I think they lack creativity behind Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy. Look, at the moment, if you're going to play one striker, I think they'll play 2. If you're going to play one, Iheanacho is the man you'd play and not Jamie Vardy. He looks in tremendous form right now. And Jamie Vardy doesn't even look like scoring for whatever reason right now. So Brendan Rodgers likes a tweak. If he goes one, it'll be the Nigerian forward. They will stick with 2 and I think put Maddison behind. For Southampton, I think they were fully thinking about the FA Cup semi-final. They've moved on from this season. They've long since moved on. 36 points, 10 clear. It's going to be all right. And West Bromwich Albion, could have won more than 3 last week. So I think Saints will refocus, rejuvenate, and push to win the FA Cup semi-final. But I don't think they will. For me, it's going to be a Leicester-Chelsea final. Leicester win.
Leicester win, you say, in the final, the title.
Oh, no, that's for 2 semi-finals. The final, right. Come back to me. Don't expect me to give you FA Cup final now. I'm all right. I'm not Mystic Meg. I'm not clairvoyant.
Okay, Chelsea, Leicester City for you, the 2 winners of this semi-final. Odds around 2.0 for the Foxes. Actually, in my opinion, also personally, it would be very nice to see the Foxes again in the final after winning that Premier League, of course, that we all remember with Vaneri on the bench. And also it would pay off this amazing job that Brendan Rodgers is doing on the bench. Then let's move on from the FA Cup and focus on the Premier League. On Friday, we have a game, Everton-Tottenham, probably the 2 most disappointing teams in the Premier League could be maybe together with Arsenal as well. Everton drew again against Brighton after drawing with Crystal Palace, getting far away from the European spots. 5 winless games for Ancelotti's men, and now Ancelotti versus Mourinho. I always like this face-to-face against these 2 coaches, and it's not happy times also for the Spurs. Lost with Man United. Maybe that Carabao Cup final changed a little bit the mood, but right now it's difficult to back any of these teams, Tom.
Yes, it is. It's a tough one to call this. I mean, with Everton, I do feel sorry for them. They've had such horrible injury issues. At the start of the season, you can cope with it because you've got a lot of fit players to cover. In January, February, you can kind of cope with it because you brought players in January. Maybe some of the original injured players are coming back. If you've got injuries in April, then you're in big, big trouble. There's doubts this weekend about Alan, Andre Gomez, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Josh King, Jordan Pickford. Definitely out Bernard, Gbamin, Mina, Delph, Decore. It's everybody. There's nobody left. Last week, they had, I think, 7 or 8 defenders in their team. So I do feel very sorry for them. But, them's the breaks. And it's sad for them. It's happened. It's killed their season. For Tottenham Hotspur, their season has been killed by Jose Mourinho. Everyone knows this. We look forward to Mourinho's retirement because he's going to be the best pundit on TV. I can't wait to see him doing punditry. I can't wait to hear him on co-commentary. I hope never to watch one of his teams for the rest of my life. They're just so They're so negative. You know what? They're going to go into this game with Harry Kane, with Heung-min Son, with an array of attacking players and try and get a 1-0 win. I think because they have more fit players than Everton, they will win. I think because they have Harry Kane, they will win. It'll be narrow. I'd be looking for an underscore line, a low score line, 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur, that sort of thing. Harry Kane to score it.
The 2 teams that we cannot trust. David was asking us for the odds for under 2.5 goals. For instance, 1.92. So that could be an option between these teams that, again, very difficult to trust. And in my opinion, also very disappointing, especially I would say because I love Ancelotti and I thought these Toffees were going to play in Europe next season. Then on Saturday, Newcastle, West Ham, and Tom, here we have to say that Newcastle might get saved. They got a very important victory last weekend, beating Burnley with Saint-Maximin scoring the winner. Now, again, 6 points difference with Fulham because Fulham, they are not picking any point. Only 1 defeat in the last 6 games. So positive things, let's say, for the home team. But the bad news is that now they are facing West Ham. A really informed team. Fourth, they are going to fight for the Champions League spots until the end, as they showed against Leicester, against Wolves, against Arsenal, and they are scoring a lot. 3 goals in last 3 games, actually.
Yes, West Ham to score 3 and both teams to score seems a pretty safe bet with West Ham these days. Look, with Newcastle, it was a great 20 minutes they had against Burnley last weekend. You know, Burnley just don't have the strength in depth to cope with anyone that can make changes from the bench. And Newcastle could bring on Maximan and Callum Wilson. So crucial, so vital they were able to come on. You know, Steve Bruce has been getting it pelters from all over the place this season. And deservedly, his team have been drab and awful. But there is an excuse that they've not had Callum Wilson for ages. And Alan Maximan, who for me could be a Champions League level talent, is only injured 25 minutes per month. So it's a massive issue for them. I expect both to start in this game. You have to start both in this game. But West Ham, as you say, are very, very strong themselves. No Antonio, no Mata. There's no winger in world football David Moyes can't turn into a striker. He's done it with Arnautovic. He's done it with Antonio. He's now doing it with Jarrod Bowen, who did it a bit with Hull, not in the Premier League. He is now doing it. And a front 3 of Bowen, Lingard and Fornals can score against anybody. Angelo Ogbonna should be back to replace the injured Aaron Cresswell in a back 3 of Diop and Dawson. Look, I think West Ham are going to win this. I think West Ham are going to win this game. They've got a lot to play for. There's a lot of positivity about West Ham United. Though Callum Wilson always scores against them. He's got a great record for both Newcastle, scored in the first game of the season against them, and for Bournemouth too. Look for Wilson to score, but look for West Ham to win. West Ham win, both teams score.
Always optimistic, Tom, with West Ham. We were showing now the odds actually for 1-3 result for West Ham, and even the victory of the Hammers, 2.12, probably good enough from a Champions League team beating a relegation battle team. Then we have probably a very, very boring game that we can skip, but we are going to analyze because maybe we can place some bets. Wolves, Sheffield United. Wolves finally got a victory, getting the winner by Adama Traore in the last minutes against Fulham. And Sheffield, as usual, they lost 3-0, thrashed at home. That's why the odds for Wolves 1.73. Actually, they are not that bad, but the thing is that it's also not easy to trust Wolves in the last weeks. They just look completely lost. Maybe again another 1-0 result, 0-0, something like this.
There's lots of good games to bet on this weekend. There's lots of money to be won. Avoid this game. Avoid this game because Wolverhampton Wanderers, they have looked drab and awful all season. The Fulham game last weekend was terrible. Adama Traore scored a great goal, but that was the only thing that happened in 90 minutes. I know, I watched it. For Sheffield United, they're going down and they've been pitiful all season. They were awful, I thought, against Arsenal a couple of days ago. It's the same old story. We're in the fight. We're 1-0 down. It's over. There's 40 minutes to go. What do we do now? Keep playing? Okay, fine. This game has been moved because of Prince Philip's funeral in the United Kingdom. It was at 3 o'clock UK time. It's now 8:15 UK time. And in truth, I think many would rather watch the funeral. So I would say that this game is to be avoided. If you're going to go anywhere, go Wolves win, go low scoring. But avoid.
And go to the pub and drink a beer instead of watching this game. Then Sunday, probably a bit better. Arsenal, Fulham. 2 London teams. Arsenal, probably not for sure. Their heads are in Prague. They have to play tonight that second leg of the quarterfinals against Slavia Prague, and they need to win. Actually, in Prague, in the Premier League, they beat, as I said, Sheffield United with Lacazette's brace. But at home, actually, no victories in the last 3 home games in all competitions. Well, but Fulham, we had some trust on them just 1 month ago when they beat Liverpool away, but now they look going down. So that's why probably backing Arsenal here is a good option.
Oh, Arsenal. Would I back Arsenal? I don't know. I mean, I backed Fulham for a few weeks, and that's probably lost me more money than the other team this season. So that time is over. No more backing of Fulham now. I think they're relegated, sadly, because they've blown it. They had a great advantage with good games to come. And they just couldn't get a win. Maybe it changes now. They've got to an always lost moment like Arsenal need to get to every week. And maybe they'll start improving. I don't know. Look, we are, of course, live before Arsenal's game in the Europa League. And so we don't know if anything's happened from that. There were some injuries against Sheffield United. Certainly Bukayo Saka being out could be a massive blow. You never know who's in favour one week with Arteta and then completely bombed out of the club the next week with him. It's a very strangely run club in many ways. I would still look for Arsenal. I think Arsenal will win this game. I just don't see Fulham staying up from this point. I think they'll battle. I think they'll work. I think they'll be well organised. And Arsenal will nick a late goal. Arsenal to win, low-scoring match.
Yeah, low-scoring game, although David say both teams to score, but the thing is that Fulham is not scoring lately. Difficult to trust the Cottagers to score in North London. Then on Sunday, we also have Man United, Burnley. Also Man United, they have a Europa League game, but easier. They won at Granada 0-2, so probably for them it's going to be easy. They won against Spurs, so probably they will win also, no, against Burnley, a team that they are coming from back-to-back defeats against bad teams like Newcastle and Southampton. That's why the odds are completely low, 1.38 for Man United to win.
I mean, it's the kind of game that United have struggled in all season. It's why they haven't challenged for the Premier League title. The good news is, as Solskjaer said this week, they're changing the red banners around Old Trafford to black banners so the players can pick out each other's red shirts. That's been the issue all along. Now we know. Black banners is the answer. I don't think it matters what colour the banners are, to be honest, against Burnley. Burnley will go 4-4-2. Burnley will look to defend well. They look to maybe hit Chris Wood with a corner, a diagonal or a cross, and maybe nick a goal. I just don't think Man United are going to blow it. I don't think they'll blow it from this point. Even with a rotated squad from midweek against Granada, I still think they'll win this game. I've been very impressed with Man U recently. I thought they were superb against Tottenham Hotspur last week. Look for a Man U win. This might be your first Asian handicap opportunity of the week. I wouldn't go higher than 3-0, handicap of 2, but I think Man United win comfortably here.
Easy victory for Man United. Asian handicap -2 pays right now 2.95. So we have to win. Man United have to win for 3 goal difference to pay our bet. If they win for 2 goals, we get our money back. Well, they have Granada, they have Burnley. Should be comfortable victories for Man United. Then on Monday, now we have 1 game per day. Leeds, Liverpool. How Liverpool will react after the knockout in the Champions League by Real Madrid. The thing is that, Tom, they really need to focus in the Premier League. Otherwise, they will be out of the Champions League next season, and that would be a massive blow for Klopp's project. And now it's not easy to win at Elland Road. Leeds, they are showing a lot of pride actually at this stage of the season, because many of the teams in the mid of the table, they are already gone, whereas Leeds, they are winning, even at the Etihad Stadium.
I mean, you probably weren't doing it the same as me, but watching the Liverpool-Real Madrid game in midweek, I just kept screaming at the TV, shoot, have a shot. Why aren't you having a shot? Have you tried a shot? You weren't doing it, but others were. Us neutrals were. And eventually, your centre-forward's got to have a shot and they've got to try and score a goal. And that is not going to happen. Roberto Firmino as your number 9. That was the issue with that. It's been the issue with Liverpool for weeks now. It's not defensive issues. Nat Phillips, God bless him, he's done an okay job. Ozan Kabak has got better than his dismal performance at Leicester in his first game. He's improved over time. Defensively, they look all right. In midfield, with Fabinho back in there, they look okay. Offensively, where is everybody? Who are these people? Is that Mo Salah or is it the Granada streaker? There's no way of knowing. What's happened to this guy? I think that the Liverpool have got to go into this game and they've got to be offensive. They've got to be aggressive. Trouble is, Leeds will be offensive. Leeds will be aggressive. How good were they against Man City? The stats will tell you they had 2 shots and scored 2 goals. Watching the game will tell you they battled first minute to last to try and get an historic result, which they deserved. Liverpool better away, so that gives them a slight advantage here. For some reason, they've struggled massively at Anfield. Maybe they need black banners around the outside. That's what they need. That'd help probably a lot. I would say here, this is a real tough one here. Having said all of that and waffled on for ages, I'm still going to go Liverpool win. Liverpool win. And that's it. Nowhere else. Liverpool win.
Hisham is saying double chance for Leeds, 2.26. That's the other option. The thing is that, the Reds have to wake up, no? I mean, they have at least to try to go to the top 4, and that's difficult for teams like Leicester, West Ham, and Chelsea. Everyone is fighting for that top 4 spot. Then we have the games that are postponed because these teams are going to play the FA Cup semi-finals. And we have some, I guess, easy victories for Chelsea or Man City, especially Chelsea. Chelsea against Brighton at the Bridge. Well, we already spoke about Chelsea, how good they are, and how they should beat probably Brighton, a team that are very competitive though, so it won't be easy in my opinion. They drew with Everton. They put a lot of difficulties to Man United when they lost 2-1. So won't be easy, I think, for Chelsea probably. Also, they will be tired after playing Champions League, after playing FA Cup semi-finals. So maybe here going for Asian handicap for Brighton to keep it close could be an option.
Yeah, with Brighton, last couple of weeks or last few weeks, I've been really impressed with the ruthlessness that they have had. They've not had that their entire time in the Premier League. They've barely shown that under Graham Potter this season. And yet all of a sudden, bang, Southampton beaten, boom, Newcastle thrashed. Great performance against Man U as well, as you mentioned. And then against Everton on Monday, they revert to type. Lovely, pretty football at times. Did they score a goal? No. Did they attack with much gusto? No. Did they ever look like conceding? No, not really, actually. And they got a drab 0-0. I think this is going to be a vaguely similar performance from Brighton in that they'll go more defensive than offensive. There are Chelsea variables with the FA Cup, but of course their squad, as we mentioned, is so deep, so strong, so rich that I think they could change 11 players and still win this game. I think that it's the kind of game you'll bring Timo Werner back for. It's the kind of game you start Kai Havertz up front. It's the kind of game where Callum Hudson-Odoi might get a start in an attacking position in the Premier League. That's the kind of game this will be. I expect 6 or 7 changes from whoever starts in the FA Cup, but I still expect Chelsea to win. Chelsea to win by 2 or more.
Oh, so for you, okay. Easy victory for Chelsea against Brighton. Then we have Aston Villa, Man City on Wednesday. Everything said about Man City. Probably they are forgetting the Premier League, so could be a good option for Aston Villa, a team that almost got a point from Liverpool, to get a point here to go for double chance. Or also you think City will win here easily? For sure, Guardiola will rest all the players, actually.
Yeah, he'll change everything because he can, much like Chelsea. They can change this amount of stuff because they've got such quality and depth. With Aston Villa, they don't have that. We've seen that with the lack of Jack Grealish in recent times. We expect him back and then he doesn't come back. We expect him back, he doesn't come back. Got to give it to Trezeguet and a couple of others. They really have stepped up in the absence of Jack Grealish, and he nearly scored at Anfield and has played impressively in recent weeks. Despite what happened to me last week against Leeds United, and despite backing Chelsea in the FA Cup, after 2, I'm going back to what I've done all season and sticking with Man City. Man City to win here.
Odds 1.43 for the citizens to win at Villa Park. And the last game on Thursday, now in 1 week time. We have to wait a little bit to place our bets for sure in this game. We have to see the team news. We have to see how were the FA Cup semi-finals with Leicester City, but we have Leicester City, West Brom beating Southampton, now back-to-back victories, and that's big news for Big Sam. And Leicester, for sure, they have to win this one. It's a winnable game, and after this, actually, they have Crystal Palace, Southampton, and Newcastle. So, in my opinion, these 4 games have to be 4 victories for the Foxes if they don't want, again, to drop from the top 4 as they did last season.
And I think they will. I think they will drop because their performances in the Premier League in recent weeks have been very, very poor. They look misguided, unfocused. I don't know what's happened to Leicester City, why it's happened. But Brendan Rodgers has previous on this. He blew the title with Liverpool. He only won the league when it wasn't a competitive league in Scotland. And when it did start getting competitive, he got out of there immediately. And now we're in a situation where they should have got the Champions League last year, didn't. And I think they'll struggle again this year. I think West Ham look more likely. I think Liverpool look more likely. And I think that they need to win this game. West Brom are going to try and do what they do. Get a corner. Do we have a corner yet? Try and get a corner. Cross it. Cross it now. Why aren't you crossing it? Look, we're a long way off from this game, but Leicester would have played 3 times or 2 times. This will be the 3rd game since West Brom last played. A lot of rest. A lot of focus. Expect West Brom to be at their physical peak for this game. I know it's early, but I'd be looking away win. I would be looking for West Bromwich Albion to win this game. This will be a huge, costly loss for Leicester, and a win for West Brom would close that gap even more. If Newcastle have lost already, it would go down to 5 points with 6 to play. That's pretty sexy. Big Sam is going to win this game.
Still the miracle of Big Sam getting out West Brom from, well, still far away, from the relegation zone. So the last game we had for you, Leicester West Brom, this is an away victory. Then we have so many games, FA Cup semi-finals, plenty of Premier League games in the next week. No, every single day football in the UK. We have a funeral also. We have everything. You have an ACCA, probably nothing to do with the funeral, but maybe some games.
Yes, I do have a non-funeral related accumulator. I'm going to pick my 2 FA Cup semi-finalists because I feel quite confident that it will be a Chelsea-Leicester final. Chelsea-Leicester, triple them with a West Ham win against Newcastle United, and I think you'll do all right.
All right. Then, Tom Rennie, thank you very much for all your tips and all your knowledge about the English football, and thanks everyone who commented in the video. For sure, you also have the chance to win £10 free bet. Still, you can leave a comment in the video on YouTube, and of course, like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel, click on the bell to get notifications. Also, we have a podcast in case you prefer to listen to our videos. And Tom, I'll see you next week analyzing the new Premier League games. Also, we have the Carabao Cup final, so a lot of football. Thank you.
Guardiola Mourinho in a cup final next week. Get excited.